Hey guys, we're in London at the Hackney Town Hall. Thought this would be a really cool place to check out the new Coboc One Soho. So it's a single speed, and Soho, this is like a city type of thing?
Yeah, it's a real urban aspect for New York and for London, and that's where the kind of name was, where it come from, really.
Yeah, this is cool. By the way, this is Ben. He runs a shop here called Fully Charged. This is one of the models he carries. Coboc has several models, and this one's just really stripped down. They said it was inspired by 1960s cycling culture.
Exactly.
Very cool to see that kind of minimalist design, but also have several frame sizes to choose from. Looking at the small here, which is a little bit on the small side for me. I'm 5'9", about 135 pounds. But you said that these frames tend to run a little bit large.
They do indeed, yeah. I mean, I'm 6'1", and I would ride a medium in this particular frame.
Okay, also, you know, the bike that we're looking at here, it's a class 1, meaning it goes 25 kilometers per hour, and that's the European designation. But you ship these to the US, and there's kind of a US speed version as well. So
yeah, we do,
you can talk to Ben and check that out if you're interested. This is a German company that's been around for several years now. So, I don't know, 2015.
Yeah.
How long have you carried them?
This is our coming to the first year end, and we've had a really good run with them, and they've been really popular in London, and more so with the other models. They're a bit more mainstream, that have the carbon forks and the slightly bigger tyres. That being the Rome at the moment, which will be the Montreal.
Oh boy. Hopefully everyone's okay. That's one of the aspects of cycling, safety. We got our helmets on and everything. I've had a lot of fun riding around London with you, and you know, the thing about the weather here, we're catching a beautiful day, but it does rain a little bit. And this bike in particular, there's no fender bosses, there's no rear rack bosses, no bottle cage bosses. It's really stripped down. But you said that the other models, what is that, the New York?
So the Montreal comes with mud guards, and it also comes with a really nice curved rack that will take the Autolead panniers. Whereas the Brooklyn, which is a really cool urban bike, comes in this new bronze matte finish that has the capability to add mud guards, but it doesn't come as standard with them.
Okay.
And it also has a belt drive now.
Well, what's wonderful about this single speed design is, you know, you don't have a bunch of sprockets in the rear, no derailleur hanging down. It's just really clean, and that chain is probably not going to drop off. You can see that there's a horizontal dropout with a stainless steel insert that acts as like it builds some strength, because this is 6061 aluminum alloy frame. Aluminum's a little bit softer, so that steel insert allows the axle to push against the frame when it powers the bike. This is not the most powerful motor, it's more efficient. I do really love the silver casing. I talked to a representative from Coboc earlier today, and they said, yeah, this is a Bafang motor, but it's custom spec for us. It has torque sensing and cadence sensing bottom bracket, and it is really fluid. It's really nice. You can see the power cable coming along the right chainstay here, and then it inserts on the side. In fact, you can see Bafang on that rubber cap. This cable here, you want to be careful with this if the bike tips over or if it gets bumped up against a wall. It's a point of vulnerability on most of these hub motor designs. This is an internally geared hub motor known for being lightweight. It's 250 watt nominal, up to 500 watt peak, and they said it's 40 Newton meters of torque. And it does feel pretty zippy. One of the interesting things about this bike in particular is that it's very simple control interface here. So there's just a power switch on the bottom of that top tube right there. You turn it on, it lights up with these blue LEDs. That means it's fully charged and you're ready to go. That's it. There's no different steps, different levels of assist. And to me, that's unique. One of the other bike companies we were looking at yesterday, Designio, yeah, they have a single speed, but it has a belt drive, and you kind of tap that power button to change levels of assist. This one's, it's sort of like one level. It's designed to be efficient, but the app,
exactly, you can change it with the app. Whereas on the Designio, it does have a bit more functionality, which is a bit confusing at first, but you can change it easily without the app, whereas you do need the app for this, which has got some good functionality.
Yeah, it's neat to have choices like this. One of the things that I love about this style is we've got these Bullhorn bars. They're narrower, so you can get it through doors easier or squeeze between cars. We were riding through traffic the other day on our way to the shop, and you know, you're kind of weaving in and out. This bike is only 30.2 pounds, which is roughly 13.7 kilograms. Very lightweight. You can lift it up right in the center. You can carry it on your shoulder. People probably won't even know it's an electric bike because the battery is built into that down tube there. It's 36 volt, 9.8 amp hours, so roughly 350, they say 352 watt hours, whereas the Designios we were looking at, they were like 250 watt hours, and they had like an optional bottle battery that could double that to 500 watt hours. So we're really close. This one's slightly heavier because it comes with a higher capacity battery right off the bat. Those are some of the trade-offs. Very similar stem geometry here. It's like 6 degrees flipped, kind of in a down position. Several risers here. And this is sealed bearings, semi-integrated, 1.125" straight head tube. One of the other differences I noticed is that this has Tektro caliper brakes, and it does have that like quick release design here, so you can pull that little plastic thing in an up position to service the wheels easier. The other bikes we looked at had disc brakes, 160 millimeter, and I think were they hydraulic disc brakes?
Indeed, yeah.
Very nice. I'm definitely a fan of disc brakes. When you get the rims wet or dirty, those caliper brakes can rub that grit into the sidewalls, and these are such beautiful rims. So this 700C, roughly 28-inch diameter deep dish, and they've got that polished silver look. It matches the brushed aluminum alloy of the frame, and then the polished silver fork as well. You said that some of the other models had a carbon fiber fork.
And a slightly thicker tire as well.
That's a big deal. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, these are very, very narrow. These are like 700 by 25C, Continental, Grand Prix Classic, handmade in Germany. This is like a road bike tire, really skinny, super efficient, but higher pressure rating on that. Okay, so you were talking about the bigger tire is going to give you a little bit more stability and comfort, and then that carbon fiber fork might also be vibration dampening.
Exactly, and a nice smooth belt drive.
And a belt drive. Yeah, I mean, so this bike offers something really special. As someone who's, you guys hear me, I'm talking about my neck and back sensitivity and stuff. This is awesome when you're on just smooth tarmac and just racing along, and it's super minimalist.
Yeah.
I actually like the chain. This is a single speed chain. See how it's a little bit beefier, it's stronger, a little bit wider. That's something I don't see a lot. A lot of times there's a cassette, there's simpler, cheaper parts. This has some really premium parts, just the ride quality is going to be different. Even the saddle, this is a Brooks saddle, beautiful. It's got kind of that fabric look to it, matching the grip tape up here, and it feels like gel padding under them, but it's just a little bit more firm. It's a harder bike, it's a faster bike. They call it like a track bike style.
Yeah, or I would say maybe like a Sunday bike or a second bike. I wouldn't personally want to be using this as an everyday bike. It's just a bit too harsh.
Unless you're, again, you're young and you're like racing around, you got one bike, this could be a great one bike for you. But when you own a shop and you got any bike you want, it's definitely nice to have some choice. There's a lot to appreciate about this, and for me, just the style of it is foremost. And I want to call out these 3-finger. These are mechanical brake levers, but they're custom CNC'd. Okay, same thing with the pedals down here, and then the charging port right here, that's magnetic. So it looks a lot like the Energy Bus standard, but they said, no, we didn't use the Energy Bus standard. We have like our own proprietary charger, but it is magnetic, and that's also how you update the app.
Exactly, it's through the Rosenberger.
Through the Rosenberger kind of connector standard. Hey guys, we're back at the shop. It's getting a little bit dark out, so I was able to scrounge around and find the Coboc charger, and this thing is quite big. You look at it, it's also a little bit heavier. It's 2 pounds. But it does put out 4 amps, so that's one of the benefits. And you can see it's got a sort of a standard plug on this end with a European charging interface, and then the magnetic sort of Energy Bus, Rosenberger standard on the other. Although I asked them and they're like, no, it's not official Energy Bus, we just use that plug type. So I can't say for sure. Ben was talking about how you have to update the software using that port, and it can kind of be a hassle. I think the newest versions will have the app software installed already, maybe the firmware on the bike. So that's cool. Just wanted to give you an idea of what this thing looks like, the size and everything. So if you're putting it in a backpack or a bag or something, you know what to expect. I love these. You got the double-decker buses. It's pretty fantastic being here, hanging out in London with you, Ben. I really appreciate it. Is there anything that you feel like I haven't touched on, or maybe you can talk about why you carry this?
I mean, as I said with the Designia, there's not really anything else like it. And, for a lightweight, cool, urban e-bike that is understated in the way it doesn't have, a big battery on it, doesn't look out of place. It's just, it's super stylish, and they've been really popular, and we're really happy to be exclusive selling these in the UK. So yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a website and everything, and you do ship to other countries. We mentioned there's like a US version that kind of meets our speed regulations.
We've sent a few of these to the US already.
People like them?
Yeah, man. Yeah, super cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're buying a bike like this, we already talked about sort of the comfort being a question. This is 31.6 millimeter seat post. You can get silver body floats, there's stud busters, there's way to soften it up a little bit if you want to, if you like this style, but just your back and neck sensitivity if your terrain isn't as smooth. Also, if you get this bike, because of those deeper dish rims, I think you need like a 60 millimeter long stem Presta valve on tubes. Check your tire pressure regularly, because these higher PSI ratings, there's less air volume and that air's pushing really hard, and they tend to drop down in pressure, and you can get snake bites where you hit a curb or something and it kind of pinches the inner tube between the rim and the curb. So you might want to get some extra tubes ready so you don't get this and then go for a ride. Your local shop may or may not have those. This is just, if you're ordering online especially, think about that, having some extra tubes. Have you had to replace the inner tubes on this or repair any flats here lately?
Not that I'm aware of. But we haven't sold that many of this model. We've sold more of the Roams and
with the bigger tires,
exactly,
right? Okay.
Exactly, with a bit more protection as well. So.
Okay, just a heads up, guys. Just something that crossed my mind. I think that's it. Maybe it's a good chance to hop on these and go for a ride. Come over here real quick, Ben. I want to show off his bike too. This is a Ghost Cycle, and this one was custom done. It's sort of a hybrid of two, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a glow in the dark G2 originally, and I asked Richard Thorpe from Go Cycle if I could have the same colour, which was a one-off in a G3, and he said no because it was too expensive to do so. He upgraded it to a G3 with a new motor, the new daytime running light, and the new battery.
This is so cool. They got the daytime running light because he's local. You guys are buds,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. So this is technically a G2.75, I would say.
That's fantastic. I've reviewed some of the Ghost Cycles, and then Brent's reviewed one of the new one that's cheaper. I like the reflective tape that
was customized by us. Yeah,
that's fantastic. These are neat bikes, a little bit more expensive. Let's talk about the price over here before we hop on. So
in UK sterling, this is $39.50.
$39.50.
And the new models for 2018 are actually the same price, but the Brooklyn, which is the geared version with the mud guards, is slightly more. I think it's $4,500. So yeah.
And I think that was like $5,200 or something USD.
Yeah, 3.9 was 52.
Yeah, right. So, keep that in mind. There's exchange rates and everything to look at. In my opinion, you're paying more for this, and a lot of that goes to the style and the exclusivity in a way, because this is, they don't sell it everywhere. And
just to mention, if you were purchasing from the States, you obviously don't have to pay the UK VAT, which is 20%, but you would have to pay for shipping to the States, which is around $500 depending on the shipper and where you are in the States.
Okay,
but that's about a 5-day service.
It's good to know, 5 days. The other thing to think about when you're getting a bike like this is the warranty and warranty support. If you're in the States, I'm not sure how that would be handled exactly, but they do offer a 2-year comprehensive, and they're working on like a 5-year upgrade.
Yeah, when you purchase the bike, you can upgrade it to a 5-year warranty, and that just shows their confidence in their engineering, which is really impressive. Yeah,
we met the guy Alex, right?
Yeah.
He came over to our house today, your house, and was telling us all about the bike, and I got to speak with one of the designers at the company. I don't know.
The owner, actually.
That was the owner.
He's super technical as well, which is great to hear when you've got the founder and the owner has that much technical knowledge. You really know that you're in good hands, which is one of the reasons why we chose to work with him.
That's great. Because it's not just like, we took a frame, we took a motor, we put them together. It's like custom design software, torque and cadence sensing, which is a big deal on a bike like this, much more fluid. And then down here even, instead of, I used to seeing a quick release skewer, 9.8 millimeters. This one has these really nice polished sort of bolt design, and that's probably a little bit more secure for being in the city. You'll notice there's no quick release on this. This is the kind of thing you can pop it at the bike rack. No one's really going to notice. You don't have your speed, your range, your trip distance. You don't have like a display up here unless you mount the phone, which actually you have. Do you have the app up there?
I do indeed.
He's going to pull this up. The app could be right here. You take your phone with you. Otherwise, that's your display. Let's check it out.
So yeah, you have you can tell what the power, current, battery temperature, all of these kind of things, and then it does have a map for GPS as well. So it is a good app actually.
And the other cool thing, I was talking about this earlier, but you can adjust how hard the motor starts, how much continuous power it gives you, and then also how sensitive torque sensing is. If you turn up those values, the bike's gonna feel a lot zippier, but of course you're gonna drain the battery a little bit faster. You know, and they have a pretty far range estimate on this, but it sort of depends. We were climbing out of the parking garage with this, and I kind of had to stand up and give it a little bit extra work, but once you get on the flats, the thing zips. It feels really good. So we're gonna hop on this, we're gonna take a ride around London, and we'll see you guys there. Cool. So we're heading to a park right now. I'm just following Ben on the Go cycle, and I'll show you guys around the area a little bit. Having to get used to riding on the other side of the road here. See those LEDs really clearly right now, and they're low enough that they weren't shining in my face like when it's nighttime. You're really focused up like this. Another thing I should mention is there's no chain guard here or guide. I don't think a guide is necessary because it's only a single speed. There's really no slack in that chain. It's not gonna slap the chainstay or anything, but I might roll my pants up otherwise. Look at this beautiful park. Those chimneys are really classic. Hey Ben, do you think you can ride one-handed and film me?
Yeah.
Okay, just kind of point and shoot.
So we're going to go through that little gap in the fence there, and then hug it round to the left, and that's the cycle path. Hey buddy, how you doing?
Hey, that's cool. Ben sees friends everywhere. Like people who bought your bikes and stuff. It's a lot of fun. One of the other things I didn't highlight as much earlier was that you have multiple hand positions. So you can relax your hands and get really aero and lean forward, or you can be in this more upright position and use the brakes this way. So yeah, I can actually hear your motor. And I remember that it's definitely more pronounced. The motor that comes on the Coboc, it's a lot quieter. I'm gonna go ahead and try to activate that. Okay guys, I'm turning the bike on and just press the little button on the bottom of that top tube. I'm gonna pedal along. Hopefully you'll be able to hear the motor starting and stopping. And I'm gonna vary my pressure, because remember, this is torque and cadence sensing. Those brakes work pretty well, and you know, I noticed there's more of a zip right at the beginning, right when you start. So that's one of those three characteristics, like how hard it starts, how much nominal like power you get, and then also how much power you get based on torque. And I feel like the default setup is pretty good. It does cut off a little bit early for what I'm used to in the US, but these internally geared hub motors, they freewheel very efficiently. So it's not like a gearless motor where you have cogging or something. It's very efficient. The bike just coasts very smoothly. It's comfortable. It's fun. You know, it's a single speed with a little bit of an extra boost. It's really beautiful, smooth, feeling good. Yeah, get a little exercise, just enjoying this so much. Look at that fun bump over there. Have to go check that out. off-roading a little bit there. What do you think, guys? Look at this. This is so rad. Look at you. Hey, buddy. This is so much fun. Thank you for taking me for this little Sunday afternoon ride.
Yeah.
I think that's it for you guys. That's the Coboc One Soho for the full write-up on this, including all the specs and a little bit more information and some pictures. They got some up-close shots of the battery and everything. I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com. I've also got the Designio reviews there, and you can do some comparisons and just see what's right for you. Check out Ben's site because he'll have some more of these Cobocs. You didn't have them in stock yet, right? That's the thing?
The Cobocs, well, basically, we are now, if you're watching this from the future, we're now in February 2018, and by mid-March, we'll have the new Brooklyn and the Montreal around the same time, which is the geared version.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we got... Yeah, those bumps, those serious business. I think that's it, you guys. We're out. Take care and ride safe. That one person, I was like so like veering out of those, like, don't hit me, and she just like steered.